Do you ever get the feeling that your cat just isn't quite themselves lately? Maybe they're sleeping more than usual, hiding in strange places, or suddenly acting distant. See, cats are masters at masking their emotions. They don't wear their hearts on their sleeves like dogs might, but that doesn't mean they're not feeling something deeply. The truth is, cats can get sad too. Whether it's from stress, boredom, a change in their environment, or even the loss of a loved one, our feline friends can absolutely experience emotional lows. So, in today's video, we're going over 6 subtle but serious signs your cat might be feeling unhappy and how to spot them before things get worse. Let's get right into it. Sign 1. Sudden withdrawal or hiding. One of the clearest signs that something might be wrong with your cat is when they suddenly begins to withdraw or hide more than usual. This goes beyond the occasional nap under the bed or playful escape behind the curtains. We're talking about noticeable, prolonged isolation from their usual environment, people, or routines. Cats are creatures of habit. They tend to feel safest when they know their surroundings and have predictable routines. So when a cat who normally lounges by the window or greets you at the door suddenly starts retreating into closets, hiding under furniture, or avoiding areas where you are, it may be a sign that they are emotionally unsettled. Withdrawal can be your cat's way of creating a buffer from whatever is making them feel stressed or emotionally overwhelmed. What makes this behavior tricky to spot is that cats already enjoy solitude by nature. So it becomes important to compare their current behavior to their usual habits. For example, if your cat has always been independent but suddenly starts avoiding their favorite spots or goes out of their way to avoid you altogether, that is worth taking seriously. Sign 2. Excessive sleeping or lethargy. Cats are known for their love of sleep. On average, a healthy adult cat can sleep anywhere between 12 to 18 hours a day. So, it might seem hard to tell when a cat is sleeping more than usual. But when a cat is unhappy, one of the ways they cope is by retreating into even longer periods of sleep or becoming noticeably sluggish when they are awake. This kind of sleep is different from a regular nap. An unhappy or emotionally distressed cat may appear to be in a constant state of low energy. They may no longer stretch out in their favorite sunny spots or follow you from room to room like they used to. Instead, they may sleep in hidden or unusual places, barely react to movement or sound, and generally seem less interested in the world around them. Lethargy in cats can often go unnoticed because it may not look dramatic. They are not necessarily collapsing or visibly ill. But if your cat, who once perked up at the sound of the treat bag, now barely lifts their head or they no longer chase toys they used to love, this drop in energy can be an emotional signal. Like people, cats sometimes use sleep as an escape from stress or sadness. If they are overwhelmed, confused, or grieving, sleep becomes a way to avoid interaction with the things that make them uncomfortable. It becomes more than rest. It becomes a retreat. However, also note that changes in energy levels can also point to physical illness. So if your cat seems constantly tired, uninterested in play, and difficult to engage with, you should consider speaking to your veterinarian. Sign 3. Changes in grooming habits. Grooming is a deeply instinctive behavior in cats. Most cats spend a significant portion of their day licking and cleaning themselves. It is how they regulate their body temperature, maintain their coat, and even manage stress. A well-groomed coat is often a sign of a content and healthy cat. So when grooming habits suddenly change, it is often a clear signal that something is off emotionally or physically. In unhappy or emotionally distressed cats, grooming may go in one of 2 directions. Some cats stop grooming altogether. You might begin to notice that their fur looks dull, oily, or even matted in areas where they would normally keep it neat. A cat who no longer takes care of their coat is often struggling to maintain even basic routines. This is very similar to how humans sometimes lose motivation for personal care when experiencing emotional lows. On the other hand, some cats begin to groom excessively. They may lick and chew the same spot repeatedly to the point of causing bald patches, rashes, or irritated skin. This is often called over-grooming, and it can be a form of self-soothing. It is their way of coping with stress, discomfort, or emotional unease. In more serious cases, this behavior becomes compulsive, and it may continue even when it causes pain or damage. You might also notice your cat grooming you more than usual. While this can be a sweet gesture, in some cases, it is another sign that they are using grooming as a way to seek comfort or reassurance. Sign 4. Litter box issues. When a cat starts avoiding the litter box, it is easy to assume they are being difficult or acting out. But more often than not, there is an emotional reason behind it. A cat who is suddenly urinating or defecating outside of their usual spot is not being defiant. They are communicating in the clearest way they know how that something does not feel right. Cats are naturally clean animals. They take pride in their space. They bury their waste. They return to familiar spots because it gives them a sense of control. So when that routine breaks, it is rarely random. Emotional distress, anxiety, grief, or even a sense of insecurity in their environment can cause a cat to stop using their litter box. Some cats choose new locations that hold emotional meaning. You might find urine in places where a loved one used to sit, or in quiet corners that feel safe. In some cases, cats may begin marking familiar areas with their scent in an effort to re-establish stability or comfort after something has disrupted their world. This kind of behavior can be frustrating, especially when it happens in your bed or on your clothes. It can feel personal, but to the cat, it is not about revenge or mischief. It is about stress, sadness, or confusion. Punishing them only deepens the fear or anxiety that triggered the behavior in the first place. Sign 5. Appetite changes. You know your cat's eating habits better than anyone. Some cats graze slowly throughout the day, while others devour their meals the second the bowl hits the floor. That's why a sudden shift in how much they eat should never be brushed off. An unhappy cat may lose interest in food, even if it's something they normally love. That familiar excitement around feeding time fades. They might sniff the bowl, then walk away, or just leave food untouched for hours. It's not about pickiness, it's about mood. Emotional distress has a real impact on a cat's desire to eat. In some cases, the opposite happens. A cat may begin eating more than usual, especially if food becomes a source of comfort. Emotional overeating in cats is less common, but it does happen, especially in indoor cats who are bored, anxious, or lonely. Sign 6. Unusual vocalizations. Some cats are naturally chatty, others barely make a sound. But every cat has a voice, and when something feels off emotionally, that voice often changes in ways that are hard to miss once you start paying attention. A cat that is feeling unhappy might begin meowing more often, and the sound itself can be different. It would be lower, more drawn out, almost like a sigh wrapped in a meow. It can come across as restless or even mournful, especially if it happens during quiet times like late at night or when they are alone in a room. For cats who are usually vocal, the change might actually be silence. A talkative cat who suddenly goes quiet is just as much a concern as a quiet cat who starts calling out. Both are telling you the same thing in different ways. Something is not right. And then there is purring. While people often associate purring with happiness, it is more complicated than that. Cats also purr when they are in pain, anxious, or trying to calm themselves down. If your cat seems to be purring more than usual, especially in situations where they are not relaxed or content, it could be a form of emotional self-soothing. Cats are quiet about their pain. They do not cry or complain the way we do, but they feel things deeply. And when they are unhappy, they often express it through small shifts in behavior that are easy to miss if you are not paying attention. That is why knowing your cat is so important, because the changes might be subtle: a missed meal, a skipped play session, a quiet meow that sounds just a little off. But when you put the pieces together, they start to form a message, one that says, "I need help." If you have noticed any of these signs in your own cat, you are not alone. And it does not mean you have failed them. It just means it is time to check in, make a few changes, and maybe get a little support from your vet if needed. What matters most is that you are watching, listening, and trying. That kind of care makes all the difference. If you enjoy this video, please click the thumbs up button, subscribe, and don't hesitate to ring the notification bell so you will be among the first to know when we publish next. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.